I think it's wrong. I think that's kind of the opposite of girl power. I think that she's like essentially female because she's steady through and through. The first thing I think when I think Snow White is the deer and the bunny and the birds all at the same time sort of surrounding her. And we're definitely we're not intentionally rebelliously turning it on its head. I just don't think that right now it's as effective a character for women because times have changed. Well, I think everybody knows that she's good. I think everybody knows that her basic characteristic is that she's very compassionate and that she cares about people and sort of that she's like ultimately selfless. And so to put that character that we all know really well in a dangerous world and see if she can stay that way and not die, but also not become hardened, really kind of maintain that, not purity because that's too perfect, but just that heart.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
What if Snow White traded her glass slippers for tough combat boots? Instead of waiting for a prince, what if she was getting ready to take the throne herself? Buckle up, because this fairy tale is getting a bold new twist. Today, we will explore two very different versions of Snow White, one from Kristen Stewart and another from Rachel Zegler. Kristen Stewart's Snow White is not just a princess waiting for help. In Snow White and the Huntsman, released in 2012, she is strong and ready for battle. This Snow White is dark and fierce. She isn't singing with birds. Instead, she is wearing armor, fighting against the evil queen and leading a rebellion. Fans of action movies loved this version because it shows a classic character taking charge and fighting for her own future. On the other hand, Rachel Zegler's Snow White is part of Disney's upcoming remake. This version will show her as a leader, not just a lover. This change reflects how stories are evolving with the times. The new Snow White is ready to step into her power and lead others. The different versions of Snow White make us think about what makes a hero. Are these changes a sign of modern storytelling? Or is Hollywood changing too much of what we love about these classic tales? Join us as we dive deeper into this discussion. If you care about how our favorite stories are changing, or if you just want to join the conversation, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for more insights, and let's start this exciting debate. Now let's turn our attention to Rachel Zegler's upcoming role as Snow White in Disney's live-action remake. This version of Snow White is set to be quite different. Instead of just being a princess waiting for a prince, she is stepping up as a strong leader. The focus here is on empowerment and self-discovery. Snow White is determined to live her life on her own terms, and romance is not the main plot. This fresh take shows young viewers that they can be in charge of their destinies without needing a love story to define them.
I love the us and them mentality of it all. I love being a part of a team. I love making something that we can be proud of together. And you know, it's the reason that feels good. The reason that anyone has taste or thinks anything is cool is because everyone has a different opinion of that. And I mean, you know, if someone's gonna like have an opinion of you, if it's not love or hate, I think it's kind of like boring. Grown up in the business, my parents do it. They're their crew, and I've really just loved the movies my whole life. I've totally and completely glorified it. I think they're really important. I think you can do so much. Even if nobody saw Snow White, the experience of it has given me so much. I want to do that for.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
She's the most set character I've ever encountered. She's like, you know, and not in a stubborn way, and the most sort of all of those strengths that Snow White has in this movie. The reason everyone's like, oh, it's such a badass girl movie, it's because she really is a girl, and she doesn't turn into this like bad imitation of a guy, and she really is steady and
Every great movie has important themes and messages, so let's explore these in both films. In Snow White and the Huntsman, released in 2012, Kristen Stewart's Snow White is all about action and bravery. She is not just surviving, she is fighting back against the evil queen who oppresses her people. This version highlights the struggle against tyranny and the fight for freedom. It resonates with anyone who loves an underdog story because it shows how one person can make a difference. The focus is less on magic and more on strength, resilience, and determination. Now, Rachel Zegler's portrayal of Snow White is shaping up to be different in exciting ways. This remake will highlight her not only as a leader in a kingdom, but also as someone who takes charge of her own life. It's about self-discovery and finding out who she wants to be. This version emphasizes internal struggles along with external challenges, exploring themes of empowerment, self-respect, and courage. With this approach, Rachel Zegler's Snow White will inspire young viewers to believe in themselves and become modern role models, showing that a hero can be strong and independent without relying on romance. Kristen Stewart's version of Snow White took us into a dark fantasy filled with heart-pounding action. This film was all about visual drama, featuring gloomy forests, chilling encounters, and epic battles. It was released during a time when many fairy tales were being turned into darker adventures, aiming to attract viewers who wanted a more intense experience. While some people loved this bold new take, others missed the gentler, more whimsical Snow White they remembered from childhood. Reviews showed this divide. Some praised the intense reinterpretation, while others felt it strayed too far from the original story. Now, let's shift back to Rachel Zegler's upcoming portrayal of Snow White under Disney's banner. This adaptation is expected to weave a different kind of magic. The focus here is shifting towards character depth and personal growth, rather than just non-stop action. This new Snow White is set to be a story of empowerment and leadership, reflecting modern values that celebrate individuality and inclusivity. Disney isn't just retelling an old tale. They are redefining what it means to be a heroine in today's world. With Zegler taking the lead, the film is already starting conversations about cultural representation and how traditional characters can be portrayed in new ways. The audience's reactions to these two approaches show a broader change in tastes and expectations. While Stewart's darker themes received mixed feedback for moving away from the original story's innocence, the excitement around Zegler's version suggests a growing desire for stories that offer more than just entertainment. Today's viewers want narratives that reflect diverse perspectives and realities, signaling a shift toward more thoughtful and inclusive storytelling. It's fascinating to see how viewers respond to these different directorial visions and themes. We've looked at how Kristen Stewart's gritty, action-packed portrayal resonated with fans who love darker cinema. On the other hand, Disney's upcoming version with Rachel Zegler is set to focus on empowerment and character development, reflecting modern values like inclusivity and self-discovery. Now, we want to hear from you. Which style do you prefer? Are you a fan of the edgier, action-oriented Snow White that Stewart brings to life? Or are you more excited about Zegler's new themes of leadership and personal growth? How do you feel about the changes in cultural representation and the shift toward more inclusive storytelling in films? Your opinions matter. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to stay updated with latest content. We have plenty more comparisons, reviews, and in-depth discussions coming your way. Thank you for watching, and we can't wait to hear your views on these exciting new interpretations of Snow White.